And my next moment, bear with me for a second. I do have a tripod that I can put this on. We have I did have a tripod to put this on, so I think what we're doing is we're just going to put the phone down, and I'm going to do the best that I can. And the next time, I'm having you on my phone, and I'm also making sure we do Zoom, and I'll be better at all these systems. I'm going to say, get me to the end of June. So I'm going to conquer this. Yes. So
end data.
Wonderful. Okay. So for everybody that's watching us, we have Camilla who has joined us today. And I have Camilla on Zoom, and we're recording Camilla. What I love, Camilla's going to talk with us today about life transitioning. So first of all, Camilla, it's always awesome to have you with us, and just grateful for your givingness to share half an hour with us a few times a week. So first, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. The sun is shining in Toronto today, so that's a good thing. It makes us feel awesome. My kids got up today, and my youngest daughter said, "I feel the smell of spring. I love it. I remember the smell." So she's excited.
Oh, and smell is also how we practice mindfulness. So that's awesome. Taking in that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so today I thought we would talk a little bit about life transitions, because we're in the middle of a big one, aren't we?
Oh, we're in the middle of such a big one that I think it's affecting us all in little different ways, and we're working really diligently on that positivity in the mind. But I'm a very, very honest person. Maybe a little too honest, Camilla. So I'm just, like you said, we're all going through this. And the more that we share and the more we put these things into practice, the better people we're becoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It used to be that people would experience like a major disruption in their lives maybe 3 to 4 times in their lifespan.
Okay.
But now research is showing it's increased to about 12. That's pretty significant.
Can you repeat that again?
And we are going through, it's about 12 times we will transition in our lives at some point.
12 major changes that we have now, chapters of our life is what I just heard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so what is it? What the heck is a life transition anyway? Most people define it like saying, oh, when if I got married, or if I moved, or if I got a new job, or if I moved to a new city. But there are some characteristics about a life transition. There's 2 in particular. Yeah. And one is it's non-linear. Right? It's non-linear. It just sort of happens in an instant. And the second one is it's unpredictable. It was not planned, just like what we are going through now. How many of you actually planned to lose your job? How many of you planned to work from home? Planned to change your business altogether? Planned to homeschool your kids? Like, we didn't plan this.
That's so true. There are so many additional changes, Camilla, that every single one is going through. So whether you're independent, whether you have a family at home, whether your family's adults, whether you have, we've the sandwich, we have older members of our family to take care of, whether you have special events going on, like you might have had a marriage coming up, or your wedding, or a baby, or whatever these things are. These are a lot of external forces coming at all of us. And then I'm going to layer on something I think that not a lot of us share, but it is, what if you are also the one in your family who you're responsible for the financial wherewithal to make sure that's coming in, or that's coming in and feeding other members of your team?
Yes. Yeah, there are many people in that boat, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So life,
some people have already experienced, you and I have had non-linear life transitions already. Some people, for example, an example would be if you gave birth to a disabled child, or maybe you had a workplace injury, or maybe you were laid off in the past. So in all of these cases, this was something that was not predicted, it wasn't planned. And so that would have been an example of a life transition that you would have already gone through, right? And
Yeah.
so given that these types of transitions are increasing, I like to say it's like a sport, you know? No one's teaching us how to play the game. It's turned into a sport. We got to learn some of the.
That's really good. I really love that because Camilla, we're all kind of going through this, and when you apply that metaphor to this, to someone like me, it makes sense because you're absolutely correct. Because I relate to that. It's like we all, whether we're coming from a place of contribution and we all want to help. However, helping sometimes requires, where's the direction? Where's the specs? And then you get more people involved and then they want to, and that's okay. But then you're like, we're all been really consumed over the last number of weeks in some of us survival mode, some of us wait. I need to, you know what? This is actually, I'm going to look at the good because there's all this other stuff going on. However, as you say, spring hasn't canceled. Time hasn't canceled. So we unplug to just breathe and then plug back in.
Yeah, another thing that I read, this was really interesting, is most transitions, they tend to last about 5 years. So it's a significant amount of time. And if we're going through, more than 10 in your lifespan, you just do the math. It means that we're spending most of our life in a transition of some sort. So that's why I thought it was important to talk about that today, because some people are maybe feeling, uncertain most of the time. And so how do we deal with that?
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat back. We've got a few people that are watching and tagged a few in, and I know the next time we do this, I'm making sure we're doing this. So this is an opportunity we can kind of bring in a few questions as well. Camilla, so CH Hater's watching, which thank you very much, CH Hater. And we currently have Rosetta with us right now. And Rosetta is joined us. She is a psychotherapist. And I really hope I didn't just lose my live feed. I might have. And Rosetta, I'm getting used to doing this. It's the first time I've done both and I know we can't do two things at the same time. So I really do apologize. I
like your name is Michelle Carty.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? We can laugh at me, love me, whichever, but I'm not beating myself up over any of this stuff. So we might have just lost our live feed. But what I am going to do is I now know that I'm going to have this working all the time when we go forward because I need questions coming in. So stepping back, and you were just saying the average person, we're going through sometimes it takes like 5 years when we go through these life transitions. And some of us might get stuck. Some of us are, turn around, and how do we get the most?
Well, that's the issue, right? So why are they lasting a significant amount of years? And the reason is, so first of all, we go through the emotional stages through each transition, right? The first one is letting go. We call that the long goodbye, right? So that's the letting go, and that's stage one. The second emotional stage is the messy middle, what we call the messy middle. And the third one is the new beginning. So now they took a poll. Let's find out where most people are, the majority of people are. And here's the results. 47% said that the middle was the most difficult. 39% said that leaving was the most challenging. And 14% said that starting new was the hardest. So here's watch this. So this is really cool. Where you spend the shortest amount of time is where you are good at. That's like your superpower, right? And then where you get stuck is where you're weakest at. So most people find it challenging to, because we get emotionally connected and attached to where we came from and how things are. We don't like change. You've heard that before, right?
Because we believe
and then we get stuck in the middle. Yeah, it's right. And then you get stuck in the middle. So imagine you're now in this new vast sea. You have to decide pick a path. And this is where most people stuck. They don't know which way to go. But once they do know which way to go, they're off and running. And that's why 14% said that, the new beginning is probably the easiest part.
That makes a lot of sense, because I mean, I reflect back in my own past and realizing, oh yeah, back in that year and that year, I remember what's going on. But why did it take so long? And then, of course, when you go through and you get to the point where it takes so long, because I just kept believing it. So it's kind of, oh, I got to stop I got to stop listening to what my brain is telling me, because this is the new versus yesterday doesn't exist anymore.
Well, psychotherapy, counseling is all about helping people deal with their past. And the why people are challenged is because they don't want to let go of that. They're attached. And so that's why most people spend more time in their past and less time focused on their future.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the good news. There's good news here.
All right. Good news.
That there's
good news.
Yeah, there's no right way to transition. There's no right particular way to do it. It's just whatever choices you make that bring you peace and comfort, that's the way to do it.
Okay. That's a gift in itself, what you just shared, Camilla. And just as you said, and for everybody that's, watching us today, well, first, the ability, just like you said, letting go, messy middle, and new beginning. And we're going through 12 phases or chapters, if you will, in our given lifetime. Then what we would normally maybe go through about 5. And a lot of people get stuck. They don't necessarily have to be stuck, because most people, from what I'm just hearing you say, 14%, getting started isn't really where people are having the challenge. It's letting go, or how do I deal with that messy middle, which is the past.
Absolutely. And transitions are hard because they tend to shake up our sense of identity. We define ourselves according to our surroundings, what we've accomplished so far. And when we change that, we lose our sense of self. And that's why it's difficult to transition. So I thought, let's talk about some coping skills. While you can, do anything you want, however you do it is all good. There are some skills that I think are beautiful in getting through a life transition. The first one is you need to recognize that you're in one. I've heard many people the last, 7 weeks that are saying, don't worry, we're all going to go back. It's going to be fine. No, listen, we're not going back to this.
And I've been on that side. This vision of, I'm like, no, we got a new world. So my kind of thing was, we got to adapt to this new world, which means we got to adjust the business, adjust this, rethink this. And I've been a little bit in that realm, partly due to the businesses that I'm involved in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So because, you are focused, so you're understanding that you're in a transition, it's easier for you to let go and to move forward. But there are many people out there that are saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's only going to last a couple weeks, and then we're going to go back to the way things were and we're all good. Those are the people that are going to be stuck for a long time.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah. So the second thing is, once you've recognized that you're in a transition and it's time to, move, the second thing is you want to look at your past transitions. What's worked? What have you done in the past that has given you a good result, right? So it's an excellent time to reflect and an excellent time for growth. This is the messy middle part, right? Yeah. Is we're now starting to look at what's worked in the past. What did I do good? What don't I want to repeat? What didn't work?
Yeah. Very makes sense. Makes great sense. Just taking kind of that time.
Yeah, and then the third part is yes, we need to take the time. Now, however long that time takes each one of us is different. Some of us need more time than others, hence why it could last up to 5 years.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
I know. I mean, I hope that as we get older, our life transitions shorten. The length of time we're in one shortens,
Yes.
and we don't
Well,
stay in them too long.
I will share something that it was brought to my attention back in 2017, and I won't even reference, but it was very accredited proof, if you will. And they had said that, like, we understand breaking a belief system isn't always the easiest because it's like a cable that's been built up over the years, and now you're chipping away. When we learned that your belief system is really just whatever you chose at that time to believe in, but there's what we call perception, and then there's reality. So we know
Yeah.
that certain laws that exist, like we don't want to jump off a cliff because we're going to go down, we're not going to go up. So that's a real true belief system. Don't jump off a cliff. However, when we're all facing this because this is a new life, new transition, and many people are rethinking careers. What do I do? What do I do for income? And it can be very overwhelming. And then other people this is an opportunity. They're jumping in. What I've heard is it may not have to take us the 5 years because a lot of it is, if we want, like you say, that messy middle part. For those that are watching, folks, if you feel that you're on, and we can use a metaphor, you might feel like you're in the middle of an ocean and there's a big, huge storm and you got this little ringy dinghy and a little life raft, and that's it. That's all you have right now. And that's maybe how you feel. Or you may feel like, I'm starting to see there may be opportunity, but oh my gosh, I'm not sure. Or you could be sort of going back and forth in anxiety or living kind of in now. But what I'm really hearing is for all the folks that are out there and watching, if you do feel like you're that person in the middle of the ocean and you're not, you're just stuck, I want you and I encourage you to continue to watch. Let's talk with Camilla and reach out, and then more importantly, reach out to your doctor first to just have that conversation. Because I think what I'm learning, Camilla, is a lot of us may not even realize that maybe we are really stuck. Maybe we do need to reach out to a professional. Or
Well,
just have the conversation.
building up on the metaphor that you're just talking about, being, the little boat in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what is it that would give you a sense of security. And to me, what that is asking for support. That's the coping skill, is connect with people, let people know what you need. And so that is going to be huge in moving forward.
Yes. Ask for support. And I think I'm going to just table this, Camilla, is and asking people like for permission. This is very real for people and it has impacted everyone. So for those that might be a little off, or they reach out and they ask for the support, just know for that audience, you're doing the right thing. Asking for help, you're doing the right thing.
People love to help, we love to support people. We love to know that we made a difference in the life of someone else. So when we don't ask for help, we rob people of having that kind of experience. It's really important. The other thing I wanted to mention is most people don't relate to life transitions like they're important.
Okay.
They spend very little time trying to master the skills that are necessary, and to me, I think it's important. I think it's part of our life story. So what does that mean? That every time that you are going through a transition of some sort, what it does is it develops our sense of purpose. We get clear on what it is we're supposed to be doing. So to me, I look at transitions like they're essential. They're necessary. And so here's the analogy that I want to leave you with, right? Is if my life story belongs to me and I'm going to be the hero in my story, that means that in order for me to be a hero, there has to be the bad guy. And to be a bad guy, I have to figure out how to slay that fear and how to deal with all of those interruptions that have happened so that I could turn out to be the hero. And this is why transitions are important, is so that we can make that happen. Without transitions, there's no hero, and the story is not that interesting.
Well, I'm so blessed and I'm so happy, Camilla, to have you and for everybody that's watching. Um, what you shared layers into some of the, um, how we say, we want to live in the now as opposed to worry about tomorrow. And we have to have a plan, if you will. But it really allows us to, um, as we're getting kind of better and settling into this, how much more we're able to give and we feel better. And it's just a very positive aspect. The whole field, Camila, of mental health and mental wellness. And we've had other conversations around personal development. And then we've had other conversations around, we'll call it positive energy thinking. I'm not going to put a name to it because some people might be this way or that way. Positive energy, that's what we'll call it. They all go nicely hand to hand. And we continue to grow and get better and become better people and serve better. And as we do that, Camilla, there's a few things you just shared during this session, and I'm so thrilled to have you that I am not going to forget and I'm going to put into play. So I want to thank you, and I just want to let everybody else know that's watching. Let's Talk with Camilla is here to stay. And Let's Talk with Camilla. She's gracious enough to share a little bit of time, a few little tips to keep us in the positive. And resiliency is a whole other word, if you will, that can define how we continue to stay positive and work through, because it's a journey. Life is a journey itself. Lots of stuff happens. I can't change anything that's happening, but I can react. And that's really where how do I continue to work on myself so that I am in control.
Correct. Very good.
Yes. So everybody that's watching, just stay tuned. I really look forward to having Camilla back on Friday, and we'll be a little bit more equipped each time now, and we'll be able to start taking in a few questions if that's okay, Camilla. And we will also
Oh,
have.
absolutely. If there are topics or issues that people would like to, cover or address, we can definitely, table those too, because we'd love to have your input in terms of issues that they're facing.
Yes, and what's on, and we're very ready for that now. So I'm going to just sign off by letting everybody know if anybody wants to know anything more. Camilla LaFranco is a 20+ year experienced accredited psychotherapist, has worked quite a bit in crisis management, pandemics, and just what we really need, and has a very unique way of making it easy to understand and easy to apply. So I really, really thank you for being here. I want you to have an amazing day, Camilla, and we'll see you on Friday.
Okay. All right. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.